Jerry's kids are out of prison and out of control. Find out how California's governor has put every Californian at risk. I'm Alexis Garcia with Cal Watchdog's John Phillips. Now, John, has Governor Jerry Brown's prison realignment plan worked?
Look, he's trying to comply with what the Supreme Court wants us to do, which is to lower the number of people in California prisons because we're well over capacity, and this was his way of doing it. We have been building more prisons. That has been what the policy in California has been for going back decades. And he's decided that we've built enough prisons that we don't have the money to continue to do that. And he's going to comply with the courts by letting everyone out.
But what are the effects of realignment? Has the crime rate actually gone down? Are suicide rates down? Or has that been successful?
Well, look, I mean, it hasn't been implemented for a long time. So you can't look at years and years and years of data and years and years and years of studies yet. But if you look at what brought in Proposition or Three Strikes You're Out back in the 1990s, it was the death of Polly Klaas. It was Richard Allen Davis, who was a repeat offender, being let out of prison time and time and time again, and taking a little girl, abducting her, and brutally murdering her. And because of that, we got Three Strikes You're Out. It's going to take one person committing one horrific crime for this to become a huge nightmare for Jerry Brown. Abel Moldonado, the former lieutenant governor of California, is running for governor based on the prison realignment issue. That's the issue that he is just hammering and hammering and hammering. He's going to need a Richard Allen Davis for that to work for him. He's going to need a storyline that he can sell to voters.
What do you think are some of the other solutions for this prison overcrowding dilemma?
Oh, build more prisons. Absolutely. Or what you can do is you can say, okay, there are certain crimes that, for example, that will allow you to stay out on house arrest. I would put people out, for example, for drug crimes on house arrest, or people who are guilty of DUIs or other offenses like that. Non-violent, non-serious offenses, I would put people in their homes.
And what do you think a private sector solution would look like for prison realignment?
Well, they can do it a lot cheaper. Part of the problem is it's so expensive to keep people in jail because our prison guards have one of the most powerful unions in Sacramento. They used to own former Governor Gray Davis. I mean, they were, if not his biggest contributor, one of his top contributors. And they've been given generous contract after generous contract. And of course, their pensions are huge. And we learned through some investigative reporting that they're paid for walking time. That from the point at which they get out of their car till the time they actually reach their post, we're paying them for all of that time, and they spike their pay at the very end, so they get the maximum amount of pension money when they retire. So it's a game where the taxpayer is being played, and if you go to the private sector prisons, you can do it much cheaper. Texas keeps people in prison for a fraction of the cost of California. There's no reason why we can't keep people in prison for the same amount of money that they do in Texas.
And well, it's a dangerous game for the taxpayers. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
For Cal Watchdog, I'm Alexis Garcia. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.